It's just a 1, 2, 3, and it's just another bomb track. What's up, everybody? It is your boy Keefe here with a late night GhostCultMag.com live stream, our weekly live stream, the weekly ritual, your one-stop shop for rock and metal news. Ghost Cult Mag since 2012 has been your official home base for album reviews, band interviews with people all over the world, concert and tours, metal festivals, news and drama, all kinds of special stuff. Product unboxings, geek culture. I'm not sure who's going to show up at this late hour, but if you're here, I love you. I really do. Already got some people watching on the tube of you. Thanks for being here. First and foremost, really quick, it's the holidays. If you were a celebrating type, I hope you had a lovely holiday. And if you're not the celebrating type, I hope you're well. Yo, Dillinger Compound, what up, what up, what up? Mike is not in the shot. I can bring it into the shot easily. Let's see. Still not fully have the nuances of this thing. Tampa the Cross has popped in. What up, what up? Good to see you here, Dillinger. If you're a Merry Christmas type of person, a Happy Hanukkah type of person, a Kwanzaa type of person, a Festivus type of person, I hope you had a peaceful and happy one. If you're not, and you're anti those things, bah humbug and all that shit, that's also fine. Ryan Kano is here. Slick Mick is here. Yolanda is here. Farley is here. Christian Sister is here, like Sister Christian. I sang Night Ranger last week. Literally quiet all night. And the minute I go live, sirens. Got COVID. Oh no. I'm so sorry. That shit sucks. It's still a thing. People think it's over. It's not over. We could have beaten it back 4 years ago, but we could not. But in any case, it's the holidays, and more than anything else, if you haven't heard from some of your friends, now's a good time to check on them. I have also been having a particularly tough time, and I had a very low-key and chill holiday. But, it's not for everybody. A lot of people are having a hard time at this time of the year. So I am truly sorry that you got the Rona. I presume not for the first time, as most people have had it a few times. Cosmic Snickers is here. A friend of mine that I respect a great deal told me that new shingles is no joke. And if you have ever had chicken pox as a kid, you should not fuck around and find out with the shingles, because I've had some friends who've had it, and it really sucks and it hurts. Real One is here. What up, Real One? I'm a real one too. So here we are with the show. Let's get on with the dispense the pleasantries. If you're here, drop a comment. The best experience for this show, thankfully, we're streaming via StreamYard. Unfortunately, I'm hanging out with y'all on TikTok, but not the best experience for the show. Best experience for the show is YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram, but we're hanging out on the other things as well. Thanks for being here. Someday we'll get to have all the other things too. We'll see. TikTok, my fingers are crossed for you. Mike Metal 1969 is here. I'm worried about TikTok. I am a social media professional in my day job when I'm not doing Ghost Cult Metal things. And I'm deeply concerned they're going to ban it or make ByteDance sell it. But I hate to break it to you, Mark. The Scorpios is here. All the social media companies are the same. The minute you click agree to terms of service, you have kind of fucked yourself with them. So I know people don't actually understand or respect what that means, but you posting a thing on your Facebook, like, you do not have permission to use my photos. The minute you click accept terms of service, you're not in control anymore. You gave away your rights a long time ago. So just letting you know. Anywho, J Law is here. What up? Let's get on with the show. And I don't know if you guys saw the fun graphic at the top. We did a winter theme for all of December. We had a Wampa and Luke Skywalker, and we had the Night King, and now we have Jack Torrance of The Shining. When I think of winter, I think of these people. I think we also had the abominable snowman from the Island of Misfits Toys from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Jesus Cadena Jr. is here. Monatoria is here. Thanks, Mark the Scorpio, for liking the live. I appreciate you. If you got a question, ask it. Of course, we always appreciate a super thanks or a super chat or a super like. Thank you. Dillinger, I think you gave us one last week. It was super kind of you. Not mandatory, but we appreciate it. any charity. The greatest nation of all is donation. You can buy us a coffee on Ko-fi. I say that wrong every time. You could also donate to us on PayPal, whatever you see fit. It's cool. Helps keep the lights on, helps the Record Vinyl Fund. I didn't run the ticker this week, so I'll just throw that up. It's time for the announcements. That's how we start every show, with the announcements. And this is a bummer. We start with the bad news first. Casey Chaos of Amen and Christian Death and a bunch of other bands, Scum, etc., died last weekend. He was 59, not 54. It was previously reported by his record label that he was 54. Somebody's watching on Facebook. Thank you. And, it's a bummer. He apparently had a heart attack at home while waiting for his mom to show up for Christmas from Florida. What a shame. There was apparently, or is apparently, an Amen album that is finished and was going to come out. I believe his record label is going to put it out. That's Cleopatra Records. So Dave Lombardo was on it. Roy Mayorga was on it. A bunch of other star-powered punks and metalers were on it. Amen, pretty important guy in the punk scene, in the hardcore metal. Matt Price Guitars here, Guitar Los is here, Luria is here, Benny, Chino HC 357 is here. What up, Chino HC? Thanks for being here. We're just doing the news. We're just doing the news rundown. This was a bummer. I was kind of sad to see Lucifer's Hammer vocalist, this is Hades, aka Andres Adesme, died at 38. We don't know how. Lucifer's Hammer just put a new album out recently. They're apparently murdered by a criminal, according to a statement from the band. Jesus Christo. That sucks. Right around Christmas. Just, God damn it. But yeah, I think he's kind of an irreplaceable guy in that band. So I don't know what their future is, but they literally just put a new album out. Super sad. Just super sad. Death always wins. It is undefeated in history. Walking with Land. Thank you, Anchorman. I have many leather-bound books on my bookshelf. I like Scotch. I literally used to be a radio news person in the 90s. I have many stories about this. Fun times, but thank you. Thank you. Yeah, bummer time. Also, just in case you didn't see last week's show, this is Ruthie, formerly of Lords of Acid. Ruthie was their real first lead singer. Certainly came to prominence on their second album, Voodoo You. It's the one with the cartoon naked deviltresses. I don't know what you would call them. Female naked lady devils. I can't show the album cover. You would know it immediately if you know industrial metal and industrial music and dance music. And she died rather young, 50-something. There was a lot of tributes put out to her over the weekend, but just in case you missed this, we're sharing this. I think I skipped dinner. I skipped a meal today and my belly is growling. So I'm sorry if anybody hears that growling over the... I missed my meds and a meal, so that sucks. So when I get done with this, I have to eat something because I didn't take my meds tonight. Weird. It's been a hard week. Just a reminder, our dear friend Tom George passed away. Tom was a music publicist. He worked with everybody, including Lords of Acid, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, Static X, everybody. There's a GoFundMe on for Tom, or a GoFundMe type of thing for Tom. There's a link in our description. Spot Fund, it's called. Also, we're still trying to raise awareness of the crowdfunding campaign for Jim Grim, the graphic artist from Philadelphia who did a stage dive and then hit his head on the ground because no one caught him. And he got a brain bleed. He's going to be okay, but, medical bills and such, if you can help with that, that's cool. That would be more important to me than giving us a donation, but I don't mind a donation. We'll be bringing up another fundraiser next week that'll be pretty important to us. And just a reminder, this show and every show is dedicated to Sonia Ramos, Sonia Shredder on Instagram. Sonia's a guitar luthier in the Florida area, and she's got late-stage cancer. We're just trying to raise money and awareness for her to make her comfortable. And then on a plus and sort of not a plus side, but on a positive note, we try to do a little fun things and lighthearted things. We are still trying to get enough signatures to get our favorite metal dog in San Francisco, Django Sainthood, from the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. This is a picture of Django in his battle vest with Necro Butcher of Mayhem. They're both on their way to kill Euronymous, just showing you that Django has that street cred. And there's nothing to pay. I know sometimes change.org is like, why don't you donate some money to this? Not necessary. Not necessary. You can just sign up at the petition in the link. Scoobs is here. Scoobs! Amber Soberpun is here. Zach Herbold is here. Mishaguchki is here. EK Chubby is here. Chubby is one of my former nicknames. Hello, Scary Baby on Twitch. Thanks for being here. Feel free to sub to us. We will sub back. If you like rock and metal, you're in the right place. And if you don't like rock and metal, that's okay too. We're like AA. It'll take you in any condition at any time. I don't have my usual sparkling drink tonight. I have a tea, a green tea. Thank you, Kirkland Green Tea. Anyway, that's that petition. Just a reminder, we relaunched our newsletter. If you're interested in getting a newsletter from us once a week, it's got this show. It's got our list of new albums to pick up and buy. We're on a little bit of a break with that list until mid-January, early to mid-January, but we're taking a little break. The only records that really came out this week are black metal records that are severe and hateful of Jesus on Christmas. It's kind of corny. There's a few other things that came out. Dominum's new album, Jethro Tull's Christmas album is out. But we have a newsletter on Substack. It's kind of a recap of everything we do. And unlike our competitors or our peers, let's call them, they put theirs out every day, multiple times a day. They harass you and barrage you. Spells Rules is here. Big Sexy is here. I've been known to be a big sexy myself. Jacob is back. And so we're on Substack if you want to subscribe. The link is in our bio. We gave up on MailChimp. So if you were on MailChimp before, make sure you resub to Substack. And then we're on all the social things. Just a reminder. I know social media is a dumpster fire. We're on social media right now, and some people do not like it. But if you like it, cool. And you can follow us on all the things. We picked up a lot of steam on Blue Sky the last few weeks. I guess Blue Sky is getting huge. Pat Tillman Jr. Are you related to the Pat Tillman, formerly of the Phoenix Cardinals? But anyway, we're on all the things. If you follow us, we usually follow back. Kurt Dunlap is here. T for one, bro. I love you, man. That's my best friend in the whole world, Kurt Dunlap. I love the emojis. Thank you. Keep them coming. And keep me coming. That's what matters. We're also on Discord if you're sick of social media. But of course, you can see most everything at our website, ghostcultmag.com. We're on YouTube. That's where all our feature stuff goes. And we're going to talk about that in a second. And Reddit. We had a great Reddit and it got banned. Let's talk about some features. So we dropped our album of the year countdown. We did a huge list on our website, 75 to 1, with a little write-ups on 40 to 1. We did a 40 to 1 video countdown, kind of looks like the Brady Bunch, with members of our staff and myself as the moderator and host. It was really cool. We had our managing editor, Tom Osman. We had our senior editor, emeritus, Steve Tovey, who has stepped down this year as the main reviews lead of the team, and Tom took his spot. We had some of our writers from all over the world. It was really cool to hear different voices and have them talk about the different records. Some people did not like the records. Did you like this record? I did not like that record. Did you love this record? I love this record. That record is not for me. Did you love this record? Oh my God, I love that record. So it was really cool to get a flavor of our staff. We have a global team. We were founded in Europe, in the Netherlands, in 2012, the Doomsday Year, ergo Ghost Cult, and why our logo is a Mayan clock, because one of our co-founders had Mayan roots, and it was like a very personal thing to him to have that clock. So we kept it. It's a cool logo, and because we don't have metal in our name, Metal Sucks, Metal Injection, Metal Insider, Metal this, Metal that, we can be whatever we want. We can be rock, we can be metal, we can cover other stuff, as you will see. So check out our countdown here on YouTube. That would help us out if you watch that. That's really cool. It's the two places we really make money is YouTube and our website, and a couple of other things. Just again, happy holidays to everybody. We send out sort of a Norse-themed solstice/holiday card over email and socials every year. Someday we'll get back to mailing them out. We didn't this year. We haven't for the last few years, but I'm fond of this. I'm fond of this serene, sort of peaceful winter scene. Even if you don't like the holidays and they're not for everybody, this time of the year is the end of the year. It's still winter. It's still a hibernation time. It's a time of renewal. And I like to think in those terms if you're not religious, because I'm not. What's up, Anthony with a cross? Good to see you. And Fishing Despered is also here. And Nathaniel is here. And Brent is also here. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Lemmy, man. Lemmy, his birthday is the day before Christmas. The anniversary of his passing is this weekend. This is a photo that I actually shot back in Mayhem Fest 2011, which my buddy Curtis was there with me, I believe. Is it 2012 or 2011? I think 2012 was the Slipknot Mayhem Fest that Omar went to and photographed, and his son was part of. Omar's the co-owner of Ghost Cult. And this is Lemmy. Even though it's not like the absolute best composition shot of all time, it's like a favorite of mine. Sometimes the enemy of good is not perfect. It's just what the vibe is, right? This is a great picture. I will tell you, like, standing in front of Lemmy's amp and watching him play in Motorhead was one of the life-affirming things in my whole life. It was also deafeningly loud, even with earplugs in. And I had professional earplugs back then. It's kind of wild that I still was like getting ear fucked, even with his stack and the monitors. It was so fucking loud. What else? Today was also Lars Ulrich's birthday, December 26th. He is 61 years old. We've been talking a lot about Metallica lately. I think this is probably the first episode of the show in a while. Hey, Wyatt Law. First episode of the show in a while. Reanimatory is here. Reanimator TV. Sorry if I read that wrong. I can't read for shit. Andrew Hernandez is here. This is probably the first show we don't have a lot of Metallica news, but it is Lars's birthday. And regardless of how you feel about Lars or Metallica, there's no Metallica without Lars. And there's not a lot of metal without Lars. This guy helped lead a whole genre for a long time. Got into Motorhead through Hawkwind, of course, a lot of us. Great band. Lemmy was Jimi Hendrix's roadie at one point in London, which is also freaking crazy. He also shared a girlfriend with two of the Beatles at different times. What a life that dude had. Just a reminder, we didn't do any premieres this week, but I just want to highlight a couple from last week. Again, we're the metal and punk rock and hard rock website that is not that traditional. Scooter has popped in. Late Night Scooter, Late Night Keefe. Vic is also here on TikTok. What up, Scooter? How you doing? Happy holidays. If you're celebrating, and if you're not, I still hope you're well. You might be at work this late at night or off. I'm not sure. Just doing the news rundown, just talking about the features and special things. We just talked about Lemmy's anniversaries this week and Lars's birthday yesterday. And just a reminder about the premieres we did this week. We did a premiere at the end of last week for Globe Lamp. Formerly, you might know the band she used to be in, Oxygen. Globe Lamp, we debuted their first single, Fossils, off their upcoming new album coming in 2025. I might try to get an interview with them. Super excited. Vic asked, the Beatles or Queen? Oh, Vic, Queen for me, but I'll be honest with you, late era Beatles is kind of untouchable. I don't love the early pop stuff. Oh, nice. Loverly KP, what up? I know you, Kelsey, from New York City when I used to live there. And Scooter, happy holidays to you as well. Off and relaxing on vacation till Jan 4th. Nice. It's wild how many people in Europe have an out of office thing that's like, I'm out until January 15th. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. What the fuck is that? But yeah, I guess there's not a lot of shit to do right now for them. But yeah, much more Queen person than the Beatles. But I will tell you, my other podcast, we did literally a laborious 9-episode thing on Queen, episode run of albums on Queen, and more than half of their albums are actually not that great. The hits are huge and amazing and untouchable. And then it's like, ew, they have some terrible songs on here. And I feel like the late Beatles, like literally no throwaway songs almost. It's crazy. And again, I always go back to this. I highly recommend you go to Disney. If you have Disney Plus and you've been watching Skeleton Crew like I have, which is amazing, Disney Plus has a series of documentaries by Peter Jackson, famous for making Lord of the Rings. And it's all like they reclaimed old Beatles film footage, remastered it and put it back out, and also created an entire new way of remastering old audio tapes for film in a brand new way, redigitized and beautifully cleaned up. And it's incredible to like watch, even if you don't like the Beatles. So watch like Paul McCartney and John Lennon write a song in 5 minutes and be like, nah, not for this album. And let's save that for another time. Label that and save it for later. And they threw away a song that ends up becoming like one of their greatest songs ever. It's insane. But we did a premiere for Globe Lamp. We did this premiere for Bray Road. If you like metal, if you like songs about werewolf creatures, if you like a music video with fire and shredding werewolves, you need to see this video from Bray Road. It's crazy. Apparently the legend of Bray Road is a werewolf-like creature that will fuck your shit up in the woods and also is a metalhead. I love it so much. And then we've been doing a bunch of live streams. I had to take a couple of days off. Wasn't feeling too great physically or mentally, to be honest. But I had done like 8 live streams in 11 days. And we've been picking up some topics that I think were worth talking about. Some people have shat on me in the comments. You could go check it out. This is clickbait. I wish I could get that 20 minutes of my life back. I wish that guy would come in the live stream and shit on me now. Not because I need defending, but I want people, the discourse is important to me. Like if you don't like something I do, I want to hear about it. I'm trying these live streams out. All our other people all our peers on YouTube, like the minute the Finn McKenty story popped up, they immediately did a video on it. And I took a few days. I did some research on it, all of that. Is Skeleton Crew good? It is good. It's like, I don't want to spoil it for you, but if Stand By Me was in the Star Wars universe, that's what it would be. That's my feeling. I'm going to go there. Did Scorsese produce the Beatles documentary? He might be a co-producer on it. You know, Scorsese is an obsessive music person. It's kind of weird. There's some solo John Lennon and Paul McCartney stuff in Departed. And I'm not sure that Scorsese has ever used a whole actual Beatles song in his movies. I'm not sure that he was allowed to. Yeah, check it out. Skeleton Crew's fun. I'm loving it so far. Jude Law is great. I want Jude Law in everything. But yeah, Slayer, we did a thing on Slayer. Kerry again reiterated the main facts about Slayer, only coming back for a handful of potential shows every year, not going to tour extensively, not going to make new music, no future with the band. I do hope that he patched shit up with Tom around those 2 performances, and those, you know, was supposed to be 3. He did talk an awful lot of shit about a guy that he's been in a band with for 40 years, that he needs that guy to be happy and make money. And he was like, Venom, 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 Venom. I was like, bro, why are you so mean? I have yet to start What If Season 3. I am behind on a few things. I need to continue catching up on Rings of Power. The first season was so slow, I stopped. And then I picked it back up when the second season was close to starting, and I really enjoyed the ending. But I heard that season 2 is similarly slow building. So I don't know. They're trying to get like 5 seasons out of that thing. But I need to catch up on that one. Also, again, Finn McKenty. We did our Finn McKenty video, and everybody else's Finn McKenty videos have like 50,000 views on them and 100,000 views and 1 million views. But I'm not Anthony Fantano, although he's a peer of ours, a partner, an advertising partner of ours. But watch Napoleon tonight. Nice work. So yeah, Finn. You know, a lot of people are up in their feelings about why he left. I think we have the most unique and interesting take on it. If I have to be a little braggadocious and say that I think I have a perspective on this guy that nobody has, because I remember when he was just a blogger before he started on YouTube, and I was a peer and a coworker of his. had a website. So I have some insight onto him that no one else has talked about, that I think it illustrates kind of, it's not like he's burned out from the last few years or burned out from these 8 years of YouTube. He's actually been doing the same brand of shtick for 15 or 20 years. And I think that's a thing that's being overlooked. And I talk about how and why. So check that video out if you're interested or outraged or not. Also, I talked about I Wrestle the Bear Ones coming back. That is definitely going to happen in 2025. I definitely had some back and forth. There's this photo, which was the like, everyone's outraged that I Wrestle the Bear Ones for the We're Going Black Metal hoax. Somebody outside is yelling. It's not yelling for me. Remember when people used to yell out the window? Yo! Nobody's yelling out the window for me anymore. I don't think he said Keith. He's not yelling for me. World Star. That's what usually happens outside my house. I wrestled the bear once in this controversial photo shot by Jeremy Saffer, one of our good pals. I used this photo on purpose because I knew it was going to upset people. This is, if they get back together, this is the lineup that's talking about getting back together, not the lineup that included the 2 members of Spirit Box currently that were in the final lineup of IWABO before they went on hiatus. They never officially announced the breakup. Also, we did a whole thing on Alice in Chains. Again, one of my favorite bands ever. And somebody on Facebook, somebody's like, don't go after the bands. That's disgraceful. You're a journalist. And then somebody else was like, oh, Sir Andy the Third is here. And then somebody else was like, yo, we need somebody to kind of like explain this shit. We need like I'm not a finance expert at all, but I talked about the controversy with Alice in Chains. I actually don't think it's a big deal at all that they took the money. I think it's worse that they didn't help their friend that was going to die from cancer when they were very flush with cash and they could have helped him. Maybe they couldn't help him. I don't know. We'll never know. Bobby Sismore is here. Ben Lear is here. Technically Ben Lear 920. Rhino is here. Oh, man. But yeah, we've been going live, talking about all the topics of the day. If I'm up to it tomorrow, I will come back on and do another one. I have like a little list of topics I'm compiling. IWABO OG lineup. I'm ready for it. I talked about my experience seeing that band. Stormland is here. Hey, Stormland, we were trading some messages earlier. Once again, belated Merry Christmas to you, Stormland, and your family. I know you celebrate. Yeah, man, I'm ready for I Wrestle the Bear Ones to come back. I once compared, before I worked at Ghost Cult and owned Ghost Cult, Just Me 22 is here on TikTok. What up? Sivar Lover is here. Michaelicious is here. I like that beard you got there, Michaelicious. I'm ready for I Wrestle the Bear Ones to come back. I once compared Krista Cameron to, I called her the next Mike Patton. And while that might be a little hyperbole and flowery, legit, she has the talent. But it's the music industry, man. It's the music business. It's not the music friendship. It's real hard. And then just a reminder, this week we ran a brand new interview with Waylon Rivas, formerly of Mushroomhead, currently of his project, The Killer's Confession. Super cool interview. I caught him right before he went on tour, right before that album came out. George NYC 53 is here. Groovy Granny is here. Hi, Groovy Granny. I had a Groovy Granny once. And Waylon is super cool. Obviously, he's named for Waylon Jennings. He's super fun. His whole living room behind him was bagging up merch, getting ready to go on tour. Oh, Tastes Like Kevin Bacon. Talking about I Wrestle the Bear Ones. Tastes Like Kevin Bacon. That Ain't Them Real Dogs Voices. I mean, they had so many bangers. They really were they weren't like obviously inspired by Dillinger. Compound knows this. Inspired by Dillinger Escape Plan and a bunch of similar Mr. Bungle and similar bands. But actually, they themselves, by breaking through the way they did so suddenly and with such a push from Century Media back then, the reason you have a Ginger and a Callous Dow Boys and really any math rock band right now is a lot because of them and genre blending bands and stuff like that. And maybe the comedy element and the humor. We've also, and I is here. Jill is here. Corey Schaefer is here. We also like Cats and Snack. Abel Ramirez. A lot of people on TikTok. Appreciate y'all. Whack Femur. Nancy. Hey. Yeah, man. Female Tony. Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza. I saw them live a whole bunch of times. You know, that's where we got my man Josh, who is now in Amur. I interviewed him a couple of years ago and we were talking about Tony Danza. What a fun band. Hey, Angela, who's the boss? Me, you, who is it? I had such a crush on Alyssa Milano in Who's the Boss, and she was the next door neighbor of a homeboy of mine who I played music with, Jason from Staten Island. But yeah, check out our interview with The Killer's Confession. He talks about the music business. He's got 2 more records in the pipeline. He's already recorded the follow-up to this one. He's working on the next one. It's a trilogy for an interesting guy into horror and stuff he's never actually done. I think you mentioned this once before. Eureka, California, right? Just me? Your brother went to high school with Mike Patton. That's crazy. I wonder what he was like in high school. He was probably super broody and emo, I bet. Some blogger recently claimed there would be no sleep token with the Dillinger escape plan. We'll see. It would make a lot of sense. I know a lot of people hate Sleep Token. I love Sleep Token. I was convinced of them when I saw them live. When I saw them live, I understood fully what the assignment was. I think a lot of people, anybody that's too hyped, anybody that's too liked, people just immediately shit on. Phantom is here. CCCC is here. Dennis Guile is here. Tap House MMA is here. Yeah, I bet Mike Patton was probably shy in high school. Queen of Darkness, I'm betting that's what your handle is. If you got a cool handle, I'm going to shout you out. If you got a question, I'll answer it. Just a reminder, we also interviewed Aaron Stainthorpe, perhaps formerly of My Dying Bride, not formally officially, but perhaps formerly of, currently of High Parasite. We ran that interview last week. We also, this is an interview we did with Stabbing Jabs. We got more Q&A type interviews coming up all next year. Lots of cool stuff in the pipeline. We recently had one with, we had so many cool interviews this year. It's crazy. It's hard to say like which one was the best, but we've had some stellar ones and different formats. Video here on YouTube, podcast only on our podcast, Q&As on the website, a lot of stuff coming. We're also going to run a bunch of, I talked earlier about our album of the year list, which you can all check out in the description. We also, we had a thing where we're going to run a bunch of content from our, a lot of guests sent us in their top 10s of the year. So my top 10 of the year will be coming, but also like our staff and also a lot of like name metal and rock musicians you might know and some you might not know. I think it'll be a good opportunity to put some shine on people. That's what I like to do. I like to uplift. The whole reason I do this is because I used to play in bands and I like to support underground artists. Like I have to write about mainstream artists all year long. As I add this to the description on YouTube, I have to write about mainstream artists all year long, but sometimes I get to celebrate underground artists you might not have ever known about if not for me. I'm not taking credit. I'm just saying I'm helping. I help. I like to be a booster. That's what's important to me. I'm going to drop this in the comment. This is going to be a running joke with you and I, Dillinger Piron. I'm with you. I mean, we missed a few things that I wish we hadn't missed. We missed a few reviews. We lost a few reviewers this year for one reason or another, step downs. I also wrote less reviews than ever this year. I just found it hard to write reviews. And I just dropped the album of the year countdown list in the description there, in the comments, in the chat, if you will. If you want it. If you want it, it's there. And again, we have a podcast. Maybe you don't have time to watch this all the time. So you can subscribe to our podcast, listen there. Feel free to give us, we have polls on our podcast. We have Q&As. You can drop a comment. It's all public and it's kind of cool. And then again, my other podcast, because I don't have enough to do, is the Glacially Musical Podcast, beer, metal, swearing, vinyl, sometimes NHL hockey, Kevin Smith movies, all kinds of shit. We are on our second episode of our new series on Obituary after a brutal series on Foreigner. I never want to listen to that fucking band again. But I'm glad we did the series. We had a great guest, Don Delamont from Talking the Talk with Don. He's also on our a Ghost Cultist, Colin. He's a Ghost Cult reviewer. But Obituary, incredible Lovecraftian album cover. No Lovecraftian theme songs on the album whatsoever, but a great album cover, which has a great backstory if you know it. And Robert Moore, 406 is here. Clover King Los Angeles is here. What up? What up? Yeah, Obituary Fire. The podcast has been fun and super interesting to delve deep into those early records. They're super important. Only the second death metal series we've done in 200 plus episodes of the podcast. We did a whole series on the early Cannibal Corpse records, Chris and Corpse Grinder. Maybe we'll revisit that again or do another band. We've talked about doing Nile. We've talked about doing Morbid Angel. We talked about doing Deicide. Talked about doing Immolation. We talked about doing Suffo. So some of those are my favorite bands. And then just a reminder to do some housekeeping. I'll blow this up. Ghost Cult is part of the Lamb Goat Media Network. I'm sure you know Lamb Goat, the much meaner, much more vicious version of Ghost Cult. They've been around for 25 years, I think, almost. When you see ads on our website, that's through Lamb Goat. When we gave away tickets to see Slayer at their comeback show, VIP tickets to Riot Fest, that was with Lamb Goat. If you're looking to promote your brand, your band, your store, something, check out lambgoatmedia.com, and they will help you out, and we'll do more stuff with them. Current members of Lamb Goat include No Echo, obviously Lamb Goat, obviously Ghost Cult, This Day in Metal, New Metal Agenda, Metal Insider, and now The Needle Drop by Anthony Fantano, the busiest music reviewer on the internet. I would love to meet that guy someday and maybe do a collab with him, but I don't know if we're big enough. Dillinger Compound knows the backstory. It was the original schizophrenia art for Sepultura. Actually, I think it was Beneath the Remains, but it's the same artist, by the way. And I think there's another band that ended up with that obituary artwork is actually a twofold, right? So it's nobody can see. When you hold up your hands and nobody is seeing the screen, it's a twofold painting, right? It's like a twofold. So it's like this half is the obituary half, and then there's another band. I forgot who it is. It might have been another underground death metal band that has the other half of the paintings. Really funny. And then Igor was so mad they took that cover away from Sepultura, he got it tattooed on him. Igor Cavalera, what a guy. I met him and interviewed him a couple times. He's kind of cool. And our other affiliate partner is StreamYard. Again, if you're watching this anywhere but TikTok, StreamYard is your definite tool for streaming dominance. We have an affiliate deal with them. If you like what you see here, sorry, TikTok, but if you like what you see here on StreamYard and you want to use StreamYard and you want to stream on Twitch or YouTube and have all your socials in the same place at the same time and read all the comments together and comment back across all the channels at the same time, almost, except Instagram and TikTok, you feel free to sign up with the link in our description. Thanks, Scooter. You have a great night, and we'll see you soon. A female Tony Danza, that's such a great comment. Jay Shadows passing by. BK Artworks is here. DJ Mantis68 is here. Take care, Scooter. We'll see you soon. Can't wait for the new Soulfly album. Me too. I'm a huge Soulfly fan, and Max is saying that he might throw it back to new metal. You know, he kind of changes every couple of albums to something else. The last couple have been kind of straight up death metal. He did a black metal record that was pretty sick. And then, you know, I think since he got his son in the band on drums, one of his sons, I think they've been going steadily back to sort of death metal and hardcore and new metal. And so he's threatening to bring it. Oh, you saw Go Ahead and Die. Cool. We covered the Max Cavalera Dynasty show in Phoenix, and my hope is that Max is going to do this every year as a festival. That was the comeback of Nail Bomb and most of Max's son's bands, Healing Magic, Insight, everything but Cavalera Conspiracy, and Igor was there. And I think that maybe leaves the door open for next year for Igor to be part of this as the headliner with Soulfly. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I know there's a lot of talk about should Max and Igor show up to the very last current Sepultura show and jam with them. For a long time, Andres said no. He said no. Now, recently, he's like, they should just show up and hang out with us and party and be part of it. I don't think it's going to happen. That's my own personal 2 cents, but I'd love for it to happen. I like that he's Moonchild. Every time I see you, Moonchild, I'm going to sing Moonchild to you. I'd love to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen. But anyway, if you want to stream, sign up with our link in the description for StreamYard and have all the cool stuff we have. And you get $10 off your subscription, and we get $10 off our next bill. So it's super useful and helpful. All right. On to the rest of the news. That was a very long lead up to this. Normally I try to get to this faster. It's late at night. I'm on at a time I'm not used to. I appreciate that everybody is here because honestly, I've been dog shit this whole week. All right, let's rock and roll. Metal festivals. That's what we do with the news rundown. That's what we do. Desert Fest. Yeah, I'll just blow this up for a second because, again, who wants to see my face all the time? Desert Fest Berlin has announced their day splits and their full lineup for late May in Berlin. Helicopters, Dinosaur Jr., and Elder, who will have a new album out soon, all playing the festival. Day tickets, €62.90. I think that's like $75 American. That's crazy cheap. Max has made it clear he has no interest in Paul. I know. I know he has. I'm one of the few outlets. So I've never had like an interview with Max where he's like, I have so much positive and good stuff to talk. I'm just gonna give myself a little pat myself on the back conceit here for a second. Just a little props. I'm able to have a good relationship with Max and Gloria and Igor and everybody else in the Max universe. And we've had very positive and good interviews with Derek and Andreas. So I know some dirt between the two, but I don't spill it. And Max respects me and likes me and always is asking, like, can we get an interview with Ghost Cult? And I always say yes. And we always have fun. And he told me personally that like he appreciated that every time I talk to him, I don't repeat the beats. I always do a different and interesting interview with him. And I talk about different things, not just the different bands, but different things. I don't ask the same shit over and over. I don't interview him every time he has availability. And I don't always ask about Sepultura. And he respects that because I already know. We've heard all that shit already. I don't think, I'll be honest, I'll just say one last thing about, hey, Eddie Taylor, what up? I think there's just one other thing about Max and Sepultura and the two Hatfield and McCoy sides is, honestly, if they reunited with Max and Igor, I think other than in Europe, they're not going to be much bigger than they are now here. Sepultura, I saw their supposed last San Francisco show, and After Doom is here. Koala is here. Sijek 47. I hope I said that correctly. It's probably wrong. I don't think they would do appreciably much better. Like Sepultura played one of the bigger venues here in San Francisco. The Warfield holds a few thousand people. The next step up is like the Bill Graham Auditorium right by my house. It's 8,000 people. I don't think Sepultura with Max and Igor are going to bring 8,000 headbangers out to one show here. And it's the same thing. Max and Igor played the Great American Music Hall. They were phenomenal. I saw Soulfly there also. I just don't think they're going to play a much bigger place, the four of them. So there's not a lot of incentive. And not to mention, I love Sepultura with Derek, and I don't want to see that gone. But yeah, there's a lot of backstory there that nobody really knows, that nobody has ever reported on, because I know, because I read the interviews and I see them. CR Deny is here. Hello. And Guido Soda 2 is here. Rich Ferrin. Scene Conspiracy at Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades. That's cool. Yeah. I think they're technically just calling it Cavalera now, but with the awesome Sepultura old school font. But clearly all their socials are still Cavalera Conspiracy. It's kind of weird, but they can get away with it. Desert Fest Berlin. Ghost Cult covered some of the very first Desert Fest, and we continue to cover Desert Fest England. Hyper Planet Festival. This is from Crossfaith. Without the full details of the split between the Cavaliers, traces back to the... I know. I'm well aware. There's all kinds of stuff. And, you know, the two brothers, Max and Igor, they didn't talk for 10 years because of that stuff, because Igor's ex-wife was involved in that split. Hyperplanet is going to take place in Japan. Crossfaith has made a big comeback the last year after a hiatus, and this is like a metalcore wet dream in Japan. Crossfaith, Under Oath, Enter Shikari, who we just interviewed about a year ago. Cold Rain. This is an insane lineup, and probably going to add some more bands to this. So probably going to get a new Crossfaith album or EP to go along with this festival. Pretty freaking cool. Roots in the Jar Farm Fest is an offshoot of Muddy Roots. I think they were kind of their own festival, and then Muddy Roots, which you've seen me wear the hat and champion the festival. We've covered it. It's kind of spun off to become like enveloped into the Muddy Roots brand now, and this is sort of a excuse me, this is kind of like their folk outlaw country farm dark fucked up shit festival in Europe. They had a Muddy Roots South America, Argentina, and now this. So I think when we're getting an increasing Muddy Roots, maybe even other countries will come in, other festivals. The Banshee is here. Buraku-san. This is pretty cool. Ronnie Montrose, there's going to be a tribute night to Ronnie Montrose during NAMM with the VIP NAMM Jam Friday, January 24th. A lot of stuff happening around the NAMM convention. There's 2 of them now, Winter NAMM in LA, in Anaheim at the convention center, and Summer NAMM, which is typically Nashville. There might even have been a 3rd NAMM at one point. Hosted by Marcy Weiser, who's a radio personality from KLOS. This looks pretty cool. It's going to be like an all-star. The list of the cavalcade of stars is crazy. I could just read it off to you. Give me a second because I have it here. Because we published the story on it today. Listen to this lineup of people doing this thing. This is madness. This is Sparta. You know, Ronnie Montrose had, Montrose, and he played with Edgar Winter and Van Morrison and Gamma and a bunch of other bands. He wrote for other people. And it's going to take place at House of Blues, Anaheim at 400 Disney Way. Tickets will range from $75 to $225 through Ticketmaster with fees included. Phenomenal. I'm being sarcastic. Hosted by Marcy, as I mentioned. Here's the lineup. David Ellefson of Megadeth, Stacey Blades, LA Guns, Troy Luccketta of Tesla, Brad Lang of Y&T, Lorraine Lewis of Vixen, Fen Fatale, Keith St. John of Montrose, Mitch Perry of Edgar Winter Group, Tony Montana of Great White, Slash, of course, needs no introduction, Sean McNabb of Dokken and Great White, Matt Starr of Mr. Big, Ace Frehley, Jimmy DeGrasso from Ozzy Osbourne. I love me some Jimmy DeGrasso on the drums, yo, and Alice Cooper. Randy Jackson of Zebra, not the other Randy Jackson, but Randy Jackson of Zebra. Robbie Lochner of Jack Russell's Great White. Andrew Freeman of Last in Line. Jimmy Paxson of Stevie Nicks, Ed Roth of Glenn Hughes Band and Robbie Krieger, Les Warner, Miles Shawn of Puddle of Mud, Katja Rickerman of Rod Stewart, Rick Brandt of the LA Philharmonic, Mike Gray of UFO, Bruce Dickinson also, and Bruce Dickinson Band, Mike Gray, and Mike Vanderhule of Y&T, with many more to still be announced. Yeah, pretty killer. I think that's a pretty killer thing. I like to see tribute concerts. Once again, they finally announced, we've been talking about, we are partners with Wacken Open Air's Metal Battle of the Bands Worldwide, Ghost Culture Media partner. We always share this news. They recently, Motorcycling Me is here. They recently just locked up the competition for the US, or at least the slots, the submissions, and now they're moving on to the first announcement of the shows. So they announced one for Ontario, which is Eastern Canada, aka Toronto, and one for Vancouver. So pretty cool. Also, BottleRock Napa recently tidied up their holiday pre-sale. The official on sale and the lineup release usually comes in late January, early February. This is a picture of Stevie Nicks from the BottleRock website. I don't own this. Don't get mad at me. I've gone to BottleRock a few times, and it kind of ruined me for grimy, grungy metal festivals. Obviously, it's not necessarily strictly a rock festival. They have had Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Foo Fighters as different headliners. Some of the best times I've ever had at a festival. I've interviewed a bunch of bands at these festivals, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Riot Fest is having all kinds of contests and holiday early bird sales. They are going to announce a banging lineup for their 20th anniversary soon. Fingers crossed for some legends and some rarely seen ones. A very good bet. Danzig has been hinting that he is going to play Riot Fest this year, either Misfits or Danzig solo. Probably Misfits. They did it a few years back when we covered it in 2017. We've been covering Riot Fest every year. We have basically a nice team now in the Midwest, in Chicago, covering things. So that's kind of tight. The very first artist has been announced for Camp Punksylvania. We've been talking about that in recent weeks, and that is, you're looking at a picture of Libby Luxury of Bridge City Sinners, who I'm a huge fan of. They also have announced some late shows this weekend, which you can check out. I'm a huge fan of Bridge City Sinners. I almost wore that shirt today. I just pulled the next black shirt off the hanger, and the next shirt after this one is Bridge City Sinners. You might see me in it tomorrow. I saw Bridge City Sinners open for Frank Turner, Migo, The Devil in Salt Lake City, and they were phenomenal. So Bridge City Sinners and Co-Defendants and some other bands. What a crazy lineup that is, huh? Again, this photo still breaks my brain. All I wanted was a Diet Coke. What the fuck, Mike? I love this photo so much. I can't. I might even have to make this into a physical photo and frame it and put it up in my house somewhere. That's how much I love this photo. Because all I wanted was a Pepsi. All right, that's all the festivals. Time for the concerts. In addition to their co-headline tour with Napalm Death and Melvins, Napalm Death has now announced a full European tour with support from Crowbar, Full of Hell, and Brat. Brat is going to be everywhere next year. We just saw Full of Hell with Better Lovers, which was amazing. And we love Crowbar. Arch Enemy has been announcing tours all over the world. Their new album's coming soon. This is their North American tour, kicking off in April. Arch Enemy, Fit for an Autopsy, Based, and Thrown into Exile. Pretty exciting. Arch Enemy always puts on a good show. I know not everybody likes Lisa, but I think she's pretty solid as a vocalist. I know a lot of people are like, it's not Arch Enemy without Johan. It's like, yo, bro, that dude has been out of the band for a long time. And the same thing with Angela. Long gone. Vastum, one of the coolest black metal bands around, has announced a headline tour for the spring. You definitely do not want to miss this. They don't tour that much. They did put a new record out, I think, a year and a half ago. This is the artist known as Blacklite District. He has a new album out and recently announced a headline tour this winter. Very cool. We've interviewed him before. Worm Ouroboros is a band here in the Bay Area, is kicking off a brief tour this spring with support from Wolf King. So we got two Oaklandish bands. The Bioluminescence album release tour. So they're putting out a new album this spring and then doing this tour, which begins on March the 7th in San Francisco at the Parkside, literally 2 miles that way from my house, with the greatest chicken sandwich in all of San Francisco. I'm a big fan. It's right up the block from Bottom of the Hill, which I also go to a lot of shows at. And the Decibel Tour tickets are on sale now for the 2025 Decibel Tour, featuring Mayhem, Mortis, Imperial Triumphant, and New Skeleton Faces. That looks really cool. Last year's Decibel Tour was with Hulder and Necrofire and a bunch of other bands. It was really fun. Really fun. Art Feo has also passed by. Hello. Stabbing Westward has going to play their rescheduled show. They moved from November to January for right near my house, August Hall. I saw Health there last spring. I know there was an interview today on Blabbermouth. I just skimmed it because I'm an obsessive Stabbing Westward fan. I am working my way up to a Stabbing Westward song at karaoke on Monday. We'll see if I do it this Monday or another Monday. But Christopher Hall, the lead singer, was talking about like, oh, I don't feel very, their last record was fucking phenomenal, Chasing Ghosts, as their first record in like 19, 20 years. And it sounds just like their 90s and early aughts material. And he was like, I don't feel very motivated to get back out there and write another album. I think our fans love us. Do they even want to hear new songs when we do them live? I do, but he feels like maybe fans don't. I appreciate the honesty. A lot of bands will go out there, make a new record, and insist on playing a lot of the new record. And you hear a dip in the crowd. They don't cheer. They don't sing along. So, I can see it being a bummer. And Stabbing Westward has umpteen hits, man. They have umpteen hits. If you were a fan of industrial metal in the 90s or saw any movie, they were on a movie soundtrack. I mean, like crazy movies. I don't know who at their record label was like, this band should be in every single movie. We're going to make that shit happen. And they did. Gorilla Biscuits, my favorite hardcore band of all time, has announced a brief tour of Europe. I'm sure they're going to also do festivals as well. This is pretty fun. They are back, Gorilla Biscuits. Very simple poster with the blue and yellow Gorilla Biscuits. I'm not mad at it. Start Today is a masterpiece. I will die on that hill. Chaos and Carnage tour got announced recently. Those tickets are now on sale. Dying Fetus co-headlining with Cradle of Filth. Wow, 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 wow. As well as Flesh God Apocalypse, Knee Obliviscaris. These are all bands we've interviewed before. Undeath, Vomit Forth, and Corpse Pile. If I can't read your logo, it's fucked. Help me help you read your fucking logos, bands, please. Zulu has announced their first ever tour of the Southeast, the Southwest, and the Southeast, heading towards Flat Spot World in Miami. So they're going to play Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, Houston, New Orleans, Pensacola, and Jacksonville on their way to Miami. What a very simple poster. Zulu with support from the band Lie. Fantastic. And they're from Texas, so that'll be cool. They'll get to play their home state quite a bit, and New Orleans, which is right next door to Houston. Black Flag continues to do their big tour. We got some spam message here on some spammers from Twitch. Too bad. If you got something real to promote, I'll help promote you. Black Flag continues to tour behind their first 4 years set. I saw them in June. I was a little skeptical. I hadn't seen Black Flag in a long time. It is basically just Greg and some other guys, but man, Mike Vallely, the former skateboard star, sounds just like Rollins. If you love Henry Rollins, you should give Black Flag a chance and go see them at least live. I'm not so sure I'm interested in a record, but Mike is cool. I'm into it. Crick is here. Craven is here. Thanks for liking that live. If you're new here and you like rock and metal on TikTok, you guys should subscribe to us for however long TikTok is still alive. I'm not sure how much longer they're going to still be around. All Shall Perish has announced a bunch of shows. They had to add a second show here in San Francisco in a couple of weeks. I'm definitely going to hit one of these January 3rd and 4th. They're also playing April 4th in Los Angeles on a huge show. And then in between there, All Shall Perish has announced a very cool Northeast run of Brooklyn, Worcester, and Asbury Park. So very, very cool. Good to see House of Independence is still there. Perhaps we will cover the Palladium or Brooklyn. I'm not sure yet. But All Shall Perish, Aborted, Internal Bleeding, The Homies from Queens and Long Island, and many more bands. Very cool. Very freaking cool. All right. Also, this weird photo is of Thou. Thou, who is one of my favorite albums of 2024. Umbilical, my personal favorite albums playlist and video is coming soon to the YouTube channel and probably a little bits of everywhere else. And Thou is on that list. By the way, spoiler alert, Thou has announced a bunch of tours for the US and Europe, so stay tuned. Here is Paul Masvidal of Cynic, who I'm a huge fan of, and he is doing, in addition to been doing a bunch of Cynic stuff this year, and some Cynic reissues that came out this year that I'm very fond of. Paul is doing a solo headline tour. I don't know if you know this. Paul is one of the masterful, greatest musicians in the world of guitar. He was taught personally by Andres Segovia, was his mentor, so he can do crazy flamenco and classical guitar, wild shit you can't imagine. And he also was in Death, and he also has Cynic. So he's literally one of the, and other things he's done. So I think he's starting to kind of flex those muscles in terms of solo artistry. And I do believe he did put a solo record out a couple of years ago also, under his own name, Paul Masvidal. So, we've been down with it. He also made he's done a bunch of stuff with Jim Carrey for, I think, Transcendental Meditation, that he's a big disciple of, and Jim Carrey is a big disciple of. And so Jim Carrey has like a children's book and movie about meditating, and Paul did the score, which is crazy. And they're buddies. This is Grave back from the grave. I'm very excited about this. Grave has been teasing a comeback, and they announced their first show at a metal festival in 2025. More Grave in the world is better than none. So I'm excited for this. We are probably going to get many more announcements of Grave at metal festivals in 2025. Guitarist, your guitar tone is awful. No, it's not. Black metal guitarist, your guitar tone is awful. Thank you. I'm still rocking this meme. All right. We're at the 1 hour mark. I'm going to try to whip through the metal news. It should be a little less than last week because of the holiday, and probably even less. I just realized, when I see you all again, it'll be 2025. It'll be New Year's. And, I think about that. 2025. Goddamn. Slipknot cannot stay out of the news. We recently did a live stream discussion podcast about their unreleased album, Look Outside Your Window, and whether it's going to come out or not. It apparently is going to come out in 2025, finally, after they did not release it in 2024. Clown cannot stop talking shit. He loves to talk shit on people. He gave an interview recently while talking about Look Outside Your Window, where he was like, there's no good headliners in the future except maybe Bring Me the Horizon. Maybe I will do a live stream discussion on this tomorrow if nothing else pops up this week. And holy shit, he was like, I'm not going to name names, which I think is a little cowardly to like shit on everybody and then not name names. But he was like, most of these headline bands suck and the future headliners are awful. He said awful. And I think I can illustrate some good ones. But, his taste and my taste might not be the same, even though we're about the same age. Clown, you have some issues. Slipknot just wrapped up their UK tour. You can check out a review of that at ghostcultmag.com right now. And they have Knotfest Australia and a bunch of other stuff on the books for next summer. This is Seven Kingdoms, who I just saw not too long ago around the corner from my house at DNA Lounge, and they just dropped an awesome cover of the Mr. Classic Kyrie. If you are an 80s kid, you know the song. And they do covers extremely well. I'm a big fan. Their singer is insane, and I love this band. Go check out that cover. Sort of a Christmas cover, basically. Earth Crisis and Integrity have announced a split, mostly of covers of each other's bands and a few live things. This is going to be exclusively released on Holy Mountain Music. Holy Mountain Merch, the merch company, is going to put this out on vinyl and shirt bundles that are already up for pre-order. I believe this is going to hit in April. Pretty cool. Here is Scorpion Child. Long dormant Scorpion Child has announced a new album, dropped a couple of new singles. I am here for it. If you like sort of bluesy, heavy rock bands, sort of Greta Van Fleet before they became annoying, Scorpion Child should have had the success Greta Van Fleet had. That's my opinion. Great band. Behemoth is teasing something. I believe it's going to be a new video single and an album drop. But they dropped a 1-minute teaser online on Christmas Day because Nergal is a troll and he hates Christians and he hates Christianity and he hates God. And if you were a fan of Behemoth when they were a black metal band, you might be legitimately insane, but also have good taste in music. So I'm interested to see what this is. We might get this drop as soon as tomorrow. We might get this drop on Monday or Tuesday. We probably might not get this until the first Monday after New Year's. We'll find out. Spencer's here. Hello. Cavey is here. Brenda's here. Hi, Brenda. Shadows Fall this weekend played the entirety of The War Within at their hometown show in Worcester at the Worcester Palladium, where I used to go to shows all the time when I lived in Massachusetts. They played their brand new song live for the first time ever, which is super cool. And they are working on new music, perhaps an EP, perhaps an album that will release sometime in 2025 for Monarch Heavy. Very exciting stuff. Helmet, this used to be, Helmet released Move On to streaming. I don't know if you're familiar with this. During the plague years, I think they had already been planning on doing it. Helmet released a box set of 7-inch singles, some covers, and some live originals. And this was called Move On as a collection. And now this is on streaming, so you can check it out. And here, Helmet cover Talking Heads and Beatles and weird shit. And then also their own jams. Very exciting. Helmet has their 30th anniversary for Betty tour in 2025. It's technically 31 years, but the Betty tour is coming everywhere with support from Slow Mosa, who's a very cool stoner doom band. I was not expecting them to take out with them. They usually tour with bands similar to them, like Prong or Chromax. Mono, the great Japanese avant-garde doom band, has released their third Christmas EP in a row. It's their annual tradition. Heaven Volume 3 is out now. You can buy it on their Bandcamp. You can stream it everywhere, and always worth checking out. Mono, one of the cooler bands in the whole world, to me. To me. Maybe not to you, but to me. Megadeth is getting ready to head in the studio and make their next record. This will be their first record with Timu, who I cannot pronounce, from Winter Sun on lead guitar. It'll be their second or third record in a row with Dirk Verburen and James on bass. I just call him James White Lion, but that's not really his name. Dave's very excited about the material. Everybody's very excited about the material. Dave looking particularly mean here with his puffy winter coat. But all right, very cool. Who's excited about a new Megadeth record? Me. I am. This is Living Gate. This is a super group of underground black and death metal guys, and they just dropped a new music video. We have an interview coming with them in early 2025, I believe. So you can stay tuned to hear that. Living Gate, classic old school death metal made by US, Dutch, and maybe some German blokes who love black metal, but they're here doing a death metal record, an old school death metal record. Plan Ride is here. What up, Plan Ride? This is Dark Angel. You can see Gene Hoglan in the back row, former Ghost Cult interviewee. Dark Angel is getting ready to play right around the NAMM show, their first show of the year, and they're going to debut new music. We are finally getting the brand new Dark Angel album in 2025. I am pumped about this. This is a band I've been following since high school. Gene Hoglan's wife's in the band. Wasn't sure that it was even possible for them to come back. I am very excited about the return of the progressive thrash metal masters. Speaking of progressive thrash metal masters, Metal Allegiance, David Ellefson, Mike Portnoy, my man Mark Mengi with the St. Vitus shirt, and Alex Skolnick are playing another show also around the NAMM show, a headline show I believe we're hoping to cover. And they're talking about, when they get together to do those rehearsals, about writing some new music. So it'd be cool. I haven't had a record out in a while. Second record was a star-studded extravaganza. Our very first 2 podcasts ever were supporting the Metal Allegiance release and featured all these guys except Portnoy in an interview and the late, great Trevor Strnad in episode 1. Very sad. Always very sad that he's gone. Here is Anders Odden of Cadaver and formerly of Satyricon and Live and a bunch of other black and death metal bands. Really, Cadaver is the very first Norwegian death metal band, and they are releasing a lost album, lost air quotes, in 2025. That's going to be released and toured behind with his current band, but it's kind of material that was recorded and never released way back in the day. So I'm kind of pumped for this. I think it's going to be hella cool. Stay tuned. I always love these photos. This is Maurizio. You know him best from Cataclysm, Maurizio Iacono, but here he is. This is a promo shot for Ex Deo. Ex Deo has a new single and video out. They have a new album coming out. Basically Gladiator metal. Gladiator, the movie, is a metal band. He's got Italian parentage, and he loves talking about it. Also, this is Tuck Smith, and he has band Tuck Smith and the Restless Hearts. They have a new video out. They have a new album coming out soon. It's pretty cool. Tuck has opened for Motley Crue and Def Leppard and Poison and Hailstorm and played at festivals and everything. Very cool songwriter, Tuck Smith is. Are you down with the Swiss Miss? It's the winter, and I know I love me some hot chocolate on the cold weather days. I don't know about you, but I get down with the Swiss Miss. It's a corny joke, but it's a meme that's an oldie but a goodie. And now it's time for our mailbag. We skip right over. There's no new music to talk about this week. It's a bunch of black metal albums I'm not stoked on, so we're going to skip those and just talk about The one Christmas gift that I got this year, you know, it's a tough time for everybody. I'm grown. I don't need anything. I don't need gifts. I don't have to have presents, but it's nice to be thought of. And somebody thought enough of me to send me a cool present. And now you get to see my face again. I'd not set up my video angle for this, but I'm going to just hold it up and show it to you. This awesome thing is the SC Electronics V7 microphone. This was described to me as the SM58 killer. For those who do music, live music, mic amps, sing in bands, the SM58 is the gold standard of live and studio mics, or used to be. Now there's a lot of competitors in the market. This is a dynamic vocal microphone. I haven't really talked much about this. I'm going to be doing some more serious singing in 2025. I've been out of the bands for a long time, and I'm going to just jam some music with my friends. This was sent to me as a Christmas gift and a present. But my dude, Abe Allen from Fine Chamois Records. You've heard me talk about Fine Chamois here before on the channel. So let's just see what comes with the microphone and just do a quick little unboxing here. I might do a separate video later. Bubble wrap, I don't need you. The microphones do come in a variety of colors. This is pretty cool. This is my mic grip. Hey, metal and rock and punk singers. Here's some advice. I know a lot of people get set in their ways and they get used to doing what they do. This is bad form. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is all bad. I know you're trying to get a certain sound on the mic. Maybe the PA sucks where you're playing. But really, these microphones, you can't hold them here. Most of these microphones are cardioid, so they catch the voice like this. The best way to hold them is either like this, like a fist, like a drumstick, right into your mouth, like you're going to lick an ice cream cone or suck a dick, as it was taught to me by a friend here in San Francisco. Hold the mic like you would hold a dick. I was like, I don't hold a lot of dicks beside my own, certainly none in front of my mouth like this, but he was like, think about it. Best way to hold a microphone, like holding a dick. So I use this grip, which is actually the Mike Patton grip. I'm just very comfortable for me to hold the microphone this way, and if I have a wire, I can control it. But these are supposed to be fantastic microphones. Also, the logo is like physically raised here, so you can kind of feel it if you want to see there on TikTok. And so it'd be like a good place for the thumb rest here, like under. I think this would work out very nicely. I'm very excited to use that microphone to jam with. And there's an instruction thing, and there's a little sticker for their brand. That's kind of nice. What else is in here? There's a case. That's very cool. I used to just carry around my own microphones to every show and not use the local microphones of the whatever clubs I was playing in, because they had some grinding ass microphones. And it's a surefire way to get some kind of herpes or minimally catch a cold. I'm very fond of when I go do karaoke, they have like the disposable mic covers for the microphones for every singer. Very cool gift right here. Let's see what else is in here. There's also a few other things there. Oh, there's a mic cover. There's a little instruction manual. Here's a little mic cover condom to put over your thing. Here, apparently, similar to condom instructions, there's a right and a wrong way to put this thing on. Instructions, in case you're fucking dumb. And the box is very colorful. This microphone does come in custom colors. I saw purple. I saw red. It's got a little mic stand holder, so you have your own. You could literally just screw this on a mic stand, take the whole thing with you. And just like drums, singers don't break the microphone down on stage. That shit's irritating. Just like drummers, don't break your kit down on stage. Dr. Music has passed by here on TikTok. Hello, Dr. Music Promotions. We're fans. Y'all put out the excellent record by our friend Peter Wilson. I need to go order one of those. Here's a note. Here's advice to any of you bands out there or brands out there. If you send something in the mail to someone as a gift or as a promotion or sponsor or anything, send it with a note. It makes all the difference. Keefe, Merry Christmas. Please accept this mic on behalf of myself and Fine Chamois. Thank you, Abe. If you prefer a different color, it can be exchanged gratis. Hope you're well. Thank you, Abe. You're the fucking man. Merry Christmas to you. Been a tough time out there for everybody, having a tough time in the world. And my dude Abe is very thoughtful and kind. He knows that the holidays are a tough time for me. They're a tough time for everybody. Tess Stevens is passing by. Hello, Tess Stevens. So yeah, very Very excited to try out this brand new microphone, this SE Electronics. And you can check them out at seelectronics.com, according to the box. So maybe I'll do a re-unboxing another time with the other camera angle. That'll be maybe more helpful. And here's a little picture of the microphone itself. If you want to pause on it, that's with the red highlights. I think my microphone also has the red highlights in it too. It's pretty cool. And that is our show. Once again, Jack Torrance coming right at you from the Lodge of the Shining. You know, the next time I talk to you guys, it'll be 2025. I'll definitely be streaming a few more times over the week. Perhaps I will do a New Year's Eve stream. Perhaps I will do a New Year's Day stream. I don't plan on partying, so I'll probably be in good shape for that. If you're out there this week, please check on your friends who you haven't heard from. Check on your family, even if they annoy you. Take care of yourselves. You know, we say every week at this juncture of the show, it's a tough time in the world, so please take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And stay as metal as humanly possible. I am going to dance a jig on the way out, like always. Thanks for being here. Happy holidays. Thanks for sticking with Ghost Cult. We appreciate you. Peace.